Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I have a man, an honorable man, a brave soul, Ukraine, that is going to share with us a lot of insights. This is to expose the magnitude of the lies that's being told to you, especially the BBC, are totally and utterly corrupt in everything that they have done. And whatever comes out of these people's mouths are just lies. You cannot even believe if they are talking a fact or a lie. So they are completely. Anybody paying TV licenses, like in the UK, as it were, are just paying. I'm now going to introduce you to him, and he's not going to show his face because I didn't want him to show his face. And he is going to move around the. He's going to move the camera to let you people know it is a live feed, and he's going to show you the city, and he's going to show you the insights of what the Ukraine de facto government is also transmitting as so-called warfare, when eyewitnesses, including through ICAM, feel this is a lie. So let's hear from the man himself.
Hi, Mark.
Thank you very much for sharing this with us. And can you just move the camera a little bit just to let the audience know this is not a still image?
Yeah, sure can.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what are we looking at the moment?
You're looking at the sky. Odessa
Your,
is a seaport down in the south.
and have you seen any news reports or tell that there is bombing, nature taking place, actually happening as the newspapers and the television stations are reporting?
That's
Okay, can you talk us through the things that you emailed me about? You know, the warfare waiting wrong.
okay. For the first week, I thought this was real. I thought, wow, so it's going to be a big war, and I'm, stuck in it. So I spent a lot of time looking at, as everyone else, looking at videos on news and stuff. And yet it wasn't nothing was making sense. Wrong. I came to realize it's all baloney. It showed that, and here, makes a big boom and it shakes my windows. Now, I was in the military, fired, mortars, and I have, principal. So I know if you fire once with an artillery gun, you cannot hit anything. You have to have a spotter to walk you onto the target. So this artillery gun is firing once per day for about 4 days in a row. And one shot will not hit anything. So I knew right off something's wrong. They're not trying to hit anything, they're just firing the gun. And I think all this stuff is just to scare people because I also get SMSs from the government telling, like, don't look out windows. If you see fighting, don't watch them. You're prohibited, actually. It says you're prohibited from this. And if you see weapons, don't pick them up, which is contrary to what I saw on news saying that guns and stuff to people. They just actually had an SMS saying the opposite. So there's all sorts of, false information out there. In Odessa, it's totally quiet. There has been, as I say, the artillery gun firing. It stopped. Then there's also air raid sirens. This story, I vouch for this because I saw it with my own eyes. I was walking down the street and I saw 4 press guys. They all had press on the buckets, and they're just standing there waiting. And I was thinking to myself, Sunday morning, 4 guys from news, something's up. So I was looking around, I saw nothing. So I kept walking. A few minutes later, I heard an air siren. It never went on before. Suddenly there's a big air raid siren. We're just waiting, and then we'll start filming. And I noticed too, the guy, the presenter, is wearing a big flag and a big helmet. So it's looking like it's a war zone, right? Plus with the air raid siren, that's how they're making all this look like a war zone. I have people I know in Chernigov, Lugansk, and Kiev. And if you go to Chernigov, like Battle of Chernigov, you'll see burning tanks, epic battles, but actually the person I know there inside the city waiting. And like that was for 7 days. I haven't contacted her for a while because I know it's fake now. They're there. There's no battles, there's no fighting. Kiev, there's been some explosions and they're claimed to be from missiles, but no one there sees missiles or anything in the air, which is suspicious. So they could just well be like C4 dynamite being detonated, in different places. And there are gunfire. Like I've heard other people say they hear gunfire here and they saw a missile fly by. So there are things being shot off, but whether, there's nobody getting killed or any of this stuff you see on TV.
In this part of the world, it's being reported that this is like a war zone
Yeah.
with all the images that you have just said. Now, it sounds like to me there are also not just these things for international press. They're also getting the people within these nations, within the Ukraine, to actually believe that the Russians are coming, the commies are coming, the capitalists are coming, the socialists are coming, the boogeyman is coming. How far is my description? How accurate is my description?
I think you're on because it's like a fear campaign. It's like Corona, like on TV, there's all sorts of dead people, and it's but in real life, there's nothing, and it's
what your girl told you. All these games, these lies from the first day of this fake ass shit I was showing y'all.
Like when I walk down the street, I'm always walking around and see what I can see. There's nobody around. They're all hiding in their house. They're afraid. Some even left the country. There's a lot of people. They just refugees to Romania, Moldova, Poland. They're scared.
Because they actually believe the news, the abject, I would like to say propaganda, but it's an absurd level
The lies, the propaganda, the foolery.
of lies upon lies from
Breaking
the
that shit
government
down. Don't believe.
that is so effective that it actually works on the people.
It's amazing. Like they won't contact me anymore because they're mad at me because I tried telling them, there's nothing going on. Just look outside, and they refuse to think about it. They just say no, can't all.
So look, we know that they through movies like Terminator, got people so frightened as to not touch not to actually think about or going anywhere near artificial and so on and so forth. And yet the cameras that are overlooking the cities are all saying that there is no conflict because we have the live images, and I can qualify that by just showing it to people. This is a live cam footage, okay, and you can see people walking about. That's in I can't pronounce it, but Kiev, I think. So that's that bit. And, Skynet, which is the term movie, getting people so they don't actually even go onto Skynet, national live cams set up everywhere. And this is just rubbish because the BBC will be transmitting in the same place that the cam is looking at, the international webcams, and all they're doing is just providing fake news. That's all. It's all just rehearsed. And that's what these people are witnessing. That's what they're witnessing with all of these things. The BBC reporting this, that there is crisis in Russia. And in a live cam, you can see
lies.
there is no crisis anywhere. These are things that they can just simply click of a button. They can look anywhere in the world, log in, and you can see that they are lying to people. The point I wanted to make with everybody of things, you folks out there, all 91,000, and all the people here watching this are witness to a lie. And because of this, you now have more standing in law than the de facto governments. That's why I'm able to do what I do, and that's why this gentleman is able to do. He knows what his standing is. Look, do you have any more insights that you can share with us?
I think just a fear campaign. They have an agenda. All these creepy people in our leadership. They got some goal they want to achieve, and they need everybody scared in order to do it because it's going to be something very sneaky, underhand. What that is, remains to be seen. I have my theory anyway.
I'd like to share that theory with us.
I think because, as you know, in contracts, there's a force majeure clause, which means that includes war. So if you have a contract where you owe money, for example, and if there's war, that debt can be forgiven. Am I correct?
Yeah, all contracts are null and void in times of warfare.
I suspect because I think Ukraine owes about $56 billion, and I'm guessing that debt will be either, forgiven or severely dropped down.
I think I understand. So the purpose of war, we know, is to kill people. And here's the lesson, folks. The identical word for kill is also cull, which means to cull. So when they say killed in battle, they're saying this man, this woman, this baby, this infant, this child was culled by battle. That means your own government killed you. Culled. That's when there is too much deer in your field, too many squirrels, too many chickens in your farm, and you come to keep the numbers down. That is what kill means. That's why they never use the word murder. You was not murdered in a concentration camp. You was not murdered in a battlefield. You signify to the coroner, because this runs out of the county coroner's offices, to say that this man was culled as part of a culling operation by the county coroner's court, by the government, which are all part of murder. And that's another thing that they're going to try to escape from. Going to take his camera out before we lose sunlight, and he's going to show us the city that is in the skyline, so and I know that he is exactly where he says he is. So please share with us the footage.
And as you see, it's pretty quiet. There's no gunfire or any of that baloney.
What is that building with the dome on there?
That's an embassy.
What embassy is that?
Cyprus.
You're starting to come in a little bit. Don't show your face, please. I don't want you to show your face there. That's fine. So what embassy did you say it was?
Cyprus embassy.
Cyprus embassy. So people can qualify this by just simply looking up on Google, Ukraine Cyprus embassy, and they can see the shape of it. They can see live footages of it, and etc. And also they can to these what's known as Skycam, and this is a true skyline. Okay, that is that. Look, there's a few other things you were saying about how they are using footages from the 6 battle that they had. They're just using those footage to transmit to the world. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Sure. Now, most people don't know, but between 2014 and now, yeah, in fact, it's like a couple of weeks ago, there's been serious artillery fire on Donetsk, and they've leveled a lot of the places in Donetsk. So there's serious battles in years, and they're just recycling all that stuff, and people don't know because they don't look carefully. They just watch seconds, and they share it with somebody without really looking at it. This is how the lie is built. People aren't careful. They just have a look at a few seconds and they're convinced. And once they're convinced, you have a hard time.
Reactionary population, those ones who are actually convinced, are the ones that are actually spreading the bad news, these fake news. So this is like a plague. The newspapers and televisions are actually needs to be out. They need to be removed rather than just a logical virus. The newspapers, television stations, the BBC.
Well put.
Well, thank you very much. Look, I've got to say, and I'm hoping that everybody can hear you, because they sometimes interfere with transmission. I want to thank you for your bravery. I have seen there are other people talking to me, but you're the first one that's agreed to speak to me live as eyewitnesses that we are, now that the whole world listening to this transmission. Than standing in law than any body in government position. That's what I want to make clear to them. Yeah. Like the power in your hands, the knowledge is in your hands. You need to go and do something about it. Use your autograph, use your thumbprint. That carries the entire weight of your family and the generations before it. Your thumbprint, your autograph, quite literally carries the entire weight of your body on this earth, and including your ancestry. Yeah, you folks need to learn to use it. Look, thank you very much. I will, end this transmission by saying something to the world. Or your position, as it were. It's you that's doing this. You're the one that's bringing this to the world. What do you have to say to the Americans, the Canadians, the Ukrainians, the entire world?
I think that people just have to be more responsible. You have to realize that tea not to help you. It's not your friend. You have to agreement. Not it's no different. So you have to assume everything they show you is just like a movie, and take it from there. If you think it's real, you're making a serious mistake.
The world is a people are operating under a theater license. The BBC operates under a theater, newspapers, television crews, or a theater license. That is why no journalist oath are reporting, and only reporters are allowed to report on theater because it's all fake news, and that's part of theater. A journalist, and if his oath is not at hand, and he's not under the penalty of perjury, or on a geometric level playing field with penalty, looking at us, as it were, they are just all actors. And the whole thing, as the gentleman said, getting you to believe that thank you very much. You have no idea how probably the people want to thank you, in person, as it were. So guys, write it out, put it in the comment box, let yourself be known that you appreciate this, that what this gentleman has done for us is beyond compensation. Yeah. So thank you very much. I mean, look, if you need
y'all know I just now the computer acting slow. Come on, let's not do this, computer. I got an important live I'm gonna do for later. You know, da 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 da. As soon as I got off, I saw my Chris like anytime and every time that I am looking to show things to people in any kind of way, there's always some kind of confirmation. If anybody just got anything to say, just pop up here for a quick second. You don't got to, because I'm about to end this real quick. I just wanted to play that, but check it out, right? What do I keep telling y'all? I keep telling y'all this whole world is a stage. They want you to play a role in it. We read in the book the beginning of the dissemination. If you guys can recall, I know there's so many different pieces of information we've been going over. Do you guys remember we were reading one of the PDFs I have? I don't even remember which one it was, because I've been going through these documents, read it, and I'm done because I'm on to the next. But if you guys remember one of the documents, it kept saying something about the pictures or something, da da da. And then I'm like, listen, guys, I said, this is showing you right now, what we're reading is proof that everything is theatrics. The religion is theatrics, the government is placed in theatrics. The system is theatrics. We went over everything. We were talking about the picture. We were talking about the dissemination. I said how they knock things down and tear them up and rebuild things. This is part of the theatrics, just like they build a stage. It's all a stage scene, all these different things. Man, come on. You can't get no realer than this. Every time we turn around, there's more and more proof. We showed you that day the so-called war started, the Ukraine and Russian war, and I showed you guys. I'm like, look, guys, this is like Atari. It looked like an Atari picture. It didn't even look real. Anybody that thought that was real was crazy. Brother even got up and said, "Oh, I was in the war, and those machine guns do look like that." Okay, some of them may be real, but they were putting it in CGI to make it look like a war in a certain area. They probably were real guns, so on and so forth. You see, the guy said that. Wait, what did he say? Hold on, let me go back. He said that they were using old footage from 2014 and forward, the little small wars that they have in the small little countries. They've been using the footage for that to make people think that that is what's going on. Didn't I tell you guys that everything is pretty much CGI? They use green screens for most of the things you see. Like, come on, this we gotta like really wake up. So if you don't wake up and start walking in the true reality, you're gonna continue to be lost and disseminated in your brain. You're gonna be a walking freaking zombie, like literally. Sit in, citizen. That's the role. Say it, bro. Y'all role is to sit in, a citizen. Sit this in. That makes so much sense. Yes. So are you going to continue to do that? Are you going to continue to play a role, be sleep, and what have you? Last week I was so overwhelmed with all this law stuff with Michi and all the stuff that's been going on. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. This information is just like, it's a lot. Even some things I want to talk to you guys about, it's like even hard to break it down so I can like do a build on it. That's why I get like a little flustered sometimes. It's like so many things you need to know, and there's only so much you can talk about, especially on here. We do have that private group. I put it out there. Make sure you put estate planning in the title. Send me an email. Let me know, that you're interested in this private meeting we're going to be having. The brother is going to be taking donations. We already spoke about that. You guys let me know what you're going to do if you want to do that, so you can get your stuff set up, because that's what I'm doing. I'm not playing no more with nobody. I'm about to stand in everything that's mine and my ancestors before me, that they were stolen from them, taken from them. I'm standing in all that, and I'm taking it all, period, point blank. Who all with me, y'all can come or y'all can stay. I know me and my homegirl are working on some stuff this week. We ain't started yet, but we got to get it going. We getting our paperwork in order and all that stuff. So it's a lot of stuff we got to do, guys. We got to stand on top of this so that we're not lost in the shuffle, because there's a lot of stuff about to be going on with these people. See how they playing this fake war, as usual, which is a plan for what? I keep telling y'all, stock up on your water, stock up on dry goods, stock up on herbs, seeds, all these things that you need to have in your household, because that's what this is about. They're about to try to starve y'all ass out, period. They're about to starve us out. So if you don't have something sufficiently to be able to sustain you in your household, having seeds where you can try to grow things, so on and so forth, it's going to be a lot of problems, guys. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, I want to make this a very, very short build. Just want you guys to get that information and see that your girl don't lie to you about nothing. I keep telling y'all they keep playing these games with us. I knew that war was, a distraction. All this stuff always is. Almost anything that happens is a distraction. I'm sorry. If y'all don't realize that by now, I don't know what to say. But that's about it. Peace, love, and blessings. I'm out.